Namo. Everybody can try to sing a little louder. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Srila Prabhupada युगधर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की श्रील प्रभुपाद की ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदां सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतल श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरिः ओम तत्सत्। Please take the call. So today's session is the most important session of this Gita course, and somehow I was not able to inform people on time, as a result of which I don't know if many of them know. I was a little busy, so it did not get broadcast in time, so I don't know. But anyways, those who have come today, they are lucky. Those who haven't come today, they are slightly unlucky. So the title for today's session is Do I Need a Guide? Are you all ready? You are ready? Today kids are sitting here. No kids class, huh? Oh, very nice. The happiness when the teacher doesn't come is a sublime happiness. Okay. So, I have a question to all of you. In these Gita Course sessions, we have been discussing what is knowledge. If all of you can take the effort of describing knowledge in just one or two words, what do you think it would be? What is knowledge? Or what are the symptoms of knowledge? Describe it. Ability to treat all living entities equally means I will embrace you also, I'll embrace the tiger also, I'll embrace the king cobra also. Equal treatment.
No, equal treatment means doing the right thing for the right living entity. For example, if the living entity happens to be a human being, I will ask him to attend, indulge in Shravana. However, if it happens to be a dog, I know that it cannot indulge in Shravana. So what I will do is, and still I wish to give it security. So I will perhaps, if I find a dog outside, I will provide it some prasada.
Very nice. Yes. Ability to differentiate between what is right and what is wrong. Very good.
Right understanding. in everything we can see that there is like presence of God and like
Seeing the presence of God in everything. Okay, very good. You were saying something?
right understanding.
Right understanding.
Whatever information from the right source.
Information from the right source and the right understanding. That means if you want to know what are the tax slab rates, you should go to the income tax website of India, get the right information from the right source, that is called knowledge. Correct? Anybody from this side? Learning. I will learn the ethical hacking, how to book myself a room in Taj Vivanta without making a payment. Learnings. Imagine if we say that today we have an ethical hacking session where you will learn how to get some things without paying money. This hall will be running short of space if we announce. We are saying Bhagavad Gita, so some people are coming, but if we announce ethical hacking session, learnings. You have to be very specific when you say learning what? Horse riding or ethical hacking? Yeah. Something.
That makes you aware of your own self-being.
Something. Is this your first session? Second session. Something which makes you aware of yourself, of your own presence.
Knowledge, I would say, is more open and good, bad, everything part of knowledge.
Good and bad, everything is part of knowledge. What is good for me, it is bad for someone else. Then it is. Does that fall in the category of knowledge?
No, I'm just saying. Knowledge means need not be always knowing things in a good way.
Knowing things in a bad way also. Okay.
Everything comes under it and it's perfect. It's everywhere. It's there. Observing things, learning about things, and using it. Maybe it might fall under different categories. Using it. Learn about things, how they function, how they work, and how to use them.
Thank you. All of you are giving very
Justified to believe.
justified.
To believe.
Justified to believe. That is called knowledge. Okay. See, all of you are giving nice answers, but all the answers are according to your opinions. He thinks something, she thinks something, you think something. According to you, I think, I feel, I believe, in my opinion, this is knowledge.
It's knowing about truth. That knowledge is to know about truth.
The truth is that Donald Trump is making life difficult for everybody in India. It's called Trumponomics these days. So, this is knowledge. I'm sorry. Yes, you want to say something?
Who I am? Why am I here? What is my role in this universe?
Who I am, why do I exist? Okay.
Enlightenment.
Enlightenment is knowledge. What does
Divine knowledge is enlightenment.
Divine knowledge is enlightenment. Okay. Thank you for all the answers which you have given. I cannot say that any one of them is wrong. But as I said, in these Gita classes, you should not care for my opinion and I should not care for your opinion. We should care for what the Shastra says, what the scriptures say. I think, I feel, in my opinion, according to me, this is called WhatsApp University. We don't learn from WhatsApp University or what is it called? Quora University or Instagram. We will learn from the great acharyas and from the scriptures. So I'll give you some definitions of knowledge very, very quickly. Here is a person known as Chanakya. He gave this definition. A person who has knowledge in Vedic culture, he is called as Pandit. These days, Panditji means, he'll come to my house, he'll do some puja, I will bargain with him. and then I'll just give him something and throw him out. So that is not Pandit. Chanakya Pandit says, Matravat paradareshu paradravyeshu lostravat atmavat sarva bhuteshu yah pashyati sa panditah. A person who sees every other woman except his wife as his mother. And similarly for Matajis. A lady who sees every other man other than her husband as a son or a father. Paradravyeshu lostravat. One who sees other people's property as garbage, no interest in it. Atmavat sarva bhuteshu. One who sees everybody at the platform of soul and gives respect to everybody as much as they expect from others. Yah pashyati sa panditah. One who has such a vision is a man of knowledge. Basically, if you derive the symptoms of a man of knowledge, matravat paradareshu means sense control. Everybody is my mother, and I have to behave like with all the ladies like my mother. This is a man of knowledge. Paradravyeshu lostravat. Very good character, not interested in all those ghotalas and running away, cheating, all those things. Atmavat sarva bhuteshu. That means he understands I am not the body but the spirit soul. Yah pashyati sa pandita. Such a person should be called Pandit. The word Pandit should not be given to politicians. They are the last people who should be called Pandit. This is the meaning of Pandit. And this is the meaning of knowledge. It is very much different from information. It is very much different from good and bad. And it is like an absolute definition. A person who has good character and a person who has controlled his senses. Only that person can be called as a man of knowledge. Others can be PhD. Others can be double PhD. But if they cannot exhibit sense control and good character, their knowledge is stolen away by illusory energy of the Lord. Maya apaharita jnanam. They are in that category. So this means knowledge. Another definition of knowledge. Vacho vegam manasah krodha vegam jihva vegam udaropastha vegam etan veganyo vishaheta dhiraah sarvam apimam prithvim sashishyat. Please listen very carefully. We are busting myths today. What does knowledge mean? Knowledge does not mean ability to make money. These days, anybody who makes a man of knowledge. Vacho vegam, one who has controlled the urge to speak. The urge to speak is creating many things in this world. Conflicts, obviously. People have so much urge to speak that they write great novels because they have the urge to speak. But their speaking, the scriptures say, the mundane speaking of a mundane man is like the croaking of a frog which invites the snake of death. So only those who speak about the Lord and only about the Lord and other times quiet, it is concluded that they have controlled the urge to speak. Even those who have taken Mauna Vrata, they can control their tongue, they can control their voice. However, they cannot control the chatter of their mind. So even Maun Vrat cannot help you to control the urge to speak. You will not speak anything, but whole day you will keep WhatsApping and Instagramming and all those things. So those who have engaged their power of speaking in speaking Krishna Katha, please don't talk at the back. Either you attend the class or do something more useful. So Vacho Vegam, one who has controlled the urge to speak. Manasaha, one who has controlled the demands of the mind. We are speaking what is knowledge. Symptoms of knowledge are these. One who has controlled the urge to speak. One who has controlled the demands of the mind. Now, mind can be controlled only by engaging it in the service of God. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. Whatever vipassana you do, whatever pranayam you do, whatever meditation you do, whatever detox you do, until and unless you engage in the service of Krishna, mind cannot be controlled. Mind has a tendency to be dissatisfied and unhappy in every situation. Why? Because the mind wants something new in every situation, in every moment. Every moment it wants something new, something fresh. Nava. But there is nobody in this world has an ability to provide some new subject matter to the mind every moment. Not possible. But the name, form, qualities and pastimes of Krishna, they are always ever fresh and ever new. So therefore anybody who engages in the service of the name, form and qualities and pastimes of Krishna, they will find new subject matter every moment, and that is where the demand meets the supply, or the supply meets the demand. So the mind becomes peaceful. So Vacha Vegam, Manasah, Krodha Vegam, one who has controlled the actions of anger. Sometimes people say, saintly people should not become angry. If you are becoming angry, that means you are not, your anger is not controlled. No, this is a misconception. Anger cannot be nullified. You cannot zero your anger. So if somebody mistreats you, or so let's say if somebody mistreats me or insults me, I have to tolerate. But if somebody insults the Lord or the devotees of the Lord, then I should become very, very angry. That is the right usage of anger. In fact, it is considered as an offense if somebody is not becoming angry when the Lord or the Lord's devotees are being blasphemed. So in this way you control your anger. By becoming angry at those people who are envious of God and His devotees, you can control your anger. So Vachavegam, controlling the urge to speak by speaking only Krishna Katha. Manasaha, controlling the mind by chanting Hare Krishna. Controlling the anger by using it on those people who are envious of God. Jihva Vegam, providing the tongue only those food items which have been offered to Krishna. In this way you can control your urge to eat. Because once you step out of the house, there is nowhere where you get prasad. You get only this KFC, McDonald's and blah 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 blah. So all that you cannot eat. So automatically there is a lock on the tongue. And if you have controlled your tongue, then your belly is automatically controlled. And if your belly control means you will control the urges of hunger basically. So if your tongue is controlled, then your belly is controlled. If your belly is controlled, then your genitals are controlled. So they are all in one straight line, tongue, belly and genitals. So one who has taken the charge of the tongue by supplying only Krishna Prasadam can control the belly also and then can control the genitals also. So, etan vegan yovishaheta dhirah. One who has conquered these 6 urges is called as a dhira. Sarvam apimam prithvim sashish. Such a person has the right or is qualified to travel all over the world, prithvim, and make students, disciples. This is knowledge. One who has controlled the urge to speak, the desires of mind, the urges of anger, and the urges of tongue, belly, and genitals is called as a dhira. And dhira is, only dhiras can claim that they have knowledge. Others have information, not knowledge. Are you able to understand now? Are you happy that you are learning these definitions of knowledge? And by the way, these are not my thoughts or opinions. These are from scriptures. I did not give the reference here. This is Nectar of Instruction, verse number 1. Upadeshamrit. It is not I think, I feel, in my opinion. These are Vedic understandings. I'll give you another definition of knowledge from the Bhagavad Gita, from Lord Krishna himself. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shunichaiva shvapakecha panditaha samadarshinaha. Again the word pandit comes here, which means man of knowledge. The humble sages, by the virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and a gentle brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, or a dog eater. That means one who is seeing everybody at the platform of soul and is treating everybody in a way so that they can progress in their journey in spiritual life. Like he was giving an example, if he meets a human being, he will invite him to the Gita class, come sit and hear. But if he meets a dog, and if I call a dog, dog, please come and sit here. So he will just come, he will urinate on the hundi and on the tulsi plant. And then he'll think this person is sleeping, he'll urinate on him also, and then he'll go. That is the dog behavior. So dog we cannot expect to, if I tell him come sit here, chant Hare Krishna. So the dog we can only give some prasadam. So this is equal vision. One may say, how this is equal vision? Human being you are calling, inviting, asking to sit on a chair, but dog you are just giving one prasadam and asking him to. How is this equal vision? And can anybody explain? I am saying this is equality of practice. Who can explain? Whoever will explain will be understood that they have knowledge. I have already answered the question. Previous batch students can try to seed.
Last time we said sleep, eat, enjoy, and
Yeah, eat, sleep, defend.
so dog has only these four abilities.
Yes,
That's the reason why we can't take them.
correct. No, but my question is, I am saying calling a human being and asking them to attend the Gita class and chasing a dog out by just giving some prasadam is equal treatment. My question is how? Consciousness. Okay. You are giving me reason why we are doing this, because there is difference in consciousness, but you are not answering the question how this is equal treatment.
It's not equal.
Oh, it's not equal treatment.
You're treating him as the dog as it is expected to be.
Treating the dog as it is expected to be. Okay.
That is what dog is expected of.
Okay.
So for him it's he got whatever he did.
You are very close, but I'll give you the full answer.
The animal does not have Brahma Jigyasa.
Animal does not have Holy Spirit of inquiry, Brahma Jignasa. Yes, correct. All of you are correct. See how I am saying this is equal treatment. Whenever I see a human being, I think, how can I help him progress in Krishna consciousness? That's my thought process. So I say, okay, he can be called for the Gita class, asked to sit and listen. When I see a dog, I think, how can I help this dog progress in Krishna consciousness? Okay, I can give him some prasadam. When I see a small child, I'm thinking, how can I make this small child progress in Krishna consciousness? I can make him clap and dance in Kirtan. So my approach is same, whether I meet a dog or a dog eater or a cow or an elephant or a gentle Brahmana. I'm asking the same question, how can I help him or her or it progress in Krishna consciousness? Now different people will progress in different ways, I'm just executing that way. So basically my vision is equal, my intention is equal, whether it is a dog or a man or a dog eater or an elephant or a cow. Did you understand? In that way I am having equal vision. And Pandita Samadarshinaha, this is called Samadarshi vision. When somebody is wanting every living entity to progress in their journey towards Krishna and treating them accordingly, although the treatment is different, but the intention is the same. So therefore he is a Pandit. Such a man is a man of knowledge. So I gave you how many definitions of knowledge? 3 or 4? 4. There is always difference of opinion. Let's conclude how many definitions I have given. 3 or 4? 3. Which are the 3?
One is Chanakya, Dhira, Krishna.
Chanakya, Dhira, Krishna. Nice. I thought you will remember some definition also. This is Kali Yuga memory. It is not your fault. Everybody in Kali Yuga is this much retention capacity only. That is why after the entire Gita course, my only expectation is people should understand Krishna is Supreme Personality of God and they have to chant Hare Krishna, that's all. I don't expect anyone to understand even a single verse of Bhagavad Gita. Because Kali Yuga memory is like that. Manda Sumanda Matayoho. And I am also like that only. So now have you understood what is knowledge? Is it information only? Information ChatGPT also has. But knowledge is different. So, are you happy to know these definitions of knowledge? All those who are happy, please raise your hand. I'm very happy to learn about this Shastric definition of knowledge. And next time when you are assessing someone whether they have knowledge or not, check for these. Do they have sense control? Have they controlled their urges? Do they have a good character? Do they have a spiritual vision? Then they are men of knowledge. Now, if there is a great district collector or there is a great professor of a college who does not have these characteristics, but there is an ordinary farmer or a peon who is having these characteristics, then whom will you declare as a person of knowledge? The professor or the farmer? You are very intelligent. Thank you. You are understanding everything. You are the first person to answer. Now, the next question is knowledge sufficient? If I simply have this knowledge and sense control and good character, is it sufficient in life? That is the next question. So Lord Krishna raises a question and creates a seed for thought in everybody's mind. He says, Indriyanam hi charatam yan mano nuvadhiyate tadasya harati prajnam vayur navam ivam bhasi. As strong wind sweeps away a boat on the water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away a man's intelligence. Knowledge and intelligence is very good, but is it sufficient? Even a knowledgeable person, even an intelligent person can be dragged away unintentionally also. If even for a moment they get distracted. And when the person is being dragged like that, at that time all the knowledge and all the intelligence cannot save. How many of you feel, honestly speaking, that even one of your roaming senses on which your mind focused carried you away and then you couldn't listen to your intelligence and you got into some embarrassing situation? With how many of you has this happened? Let's be honest. All of us. If anybody like, I have never got into any embarrassing situation, we should worship you. What are you? You should be in Vaikuntha. What are you doing here? So therefore Arjuna asked this question to Krishna. He said, Athakena prayukto yam papam charati purushaha anichham api varshneya baladiva niyojitaha. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to do sinful activities, even unwillingly as if engaged by force? How many of you have this question in your mind and heart? That yes, I don't want to do something wrong, but there is something within me which forces me to do wrong. So at least Arjuna had this question. So the point which I'm trying to say here is, knowledge and intelligence is very good, but sometimes when we get into a situation, this knowledge and intelligence is not enough. There is something called as Maya which overpowers most of the times. Does it make sense, whatever I'm saying? So, Lord Krishna explains why a person does this in two verses. Verse number 2.62 and 2.63. You can take that as homework to read in detail and understand in detail. I'm going to summarize that verse in a diagram here. So the verses are Dhyayato Vishayaha Pumsah Sangash Teshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodho Bijayate. Krishna is explaining why people commit sinful activities although they don't want to do it. Dhyayato Vishayaha Pumsah. As soon as one's senses meditate on the sense object. I have explained what is senses and sense object in previous classes. Anybody remembers? Who remembers what is sense and sense object? Okay. I will explain again. What is senses? Okay. Sense of vision, sense of touch, sense of smell, sense of taste, sense of hearing. So these are senses. So what are the sense objects? What does the ear want to hear? Sorry? Ear wants to hear Krishna? Hare Krishna. We should all offer our obeisances to that mother sitting there. But generally, other than that Mataji, everybody's ears want to hear gossip. Self-glorification. Sorry, better than gossip is self-glorification. We feel so happy when somebody massages our false ego. And then we are like, only you have understood me. Even my best friends could not, but you understood. Anybody, even if you are walking on the street, if somebody glorifies you, you are like, you understood me. You understood my glory. Till now, nobody understood me. I don't know you, but I like you. So sense object for the sense of hearing is self-glorification. So what is the sense object for the eyes? So, I have told all these things looks like. He is telling opposite gender and Netflix is the sense object for the sense of sight. That means you are paying attention, others were in samadhi. So like that, different senses have sense objects. So dhyayato vishayah pumsah, when the senses meditate on the sense objects. Sangash teshupajayate, that generates sanga, or that leads to association of the senses. Senses start spending time with the sense objects. Dhyayato vishayah pumsa sangash teshupajayate. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. When you spend time, when the senses spend time with the sense objects, it leads to attachment, and attachment leads to lust. Kamat krodho bhi jayate. Whether the lust is satisfied or unsatisfied, it leads to anger. If it is unsatisfied, you become angry. Hey, why am I not being able to satisfy my desires? And if you satisfy it, you still become angry. Even after satisfying my desire, I am not feeling happy. So therefore, sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho vijayate. Now, krodhat bhavati sammoha. When you become angry, you become bewildered, as if somebody has hypnotized you. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. When you become bewildered, you lose your memory. In the sense, you forget what is the purpose of life. The purpose of life is to become a loving servant of God. You forget that. And you start thinking, I am here for power, position, name, fame, money, etc. As if these things will help you at the time of death. Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhramaha. And when you lose your memory, smriti bhramshad buddhi nasho. When you forget who you are, what is the purpose of life, that is called memory, then you forget, then you lose your intelligence, power to discriminate what is right and what is wrong. Smriti bhramshad buddhi nasho, and buddhi nashad pranashyati. And when intelligence is destroyed, you are ready to do murder, you are ready to do rape, you are ready to do theft, you are ready to do ghotala, you are ready to do scandals, everything you will do. So Lord Krishna explains in 2 verses why a person commits sinful activities. Meditation on the sense object leads to lust. Lust leads to anger. Anger leads to loss of memory, means they forget what is the purpose of life. That leads to bewilderment of the intelligence, and after that they do every sinful activity. In 2 verses, this is the functional document of all crimes. Everything starts from here. Senses meditating on the sense objects. If we can control at this level, because once the attachment has happened and the lust has moved in and the anger has moved in and memory loss has happened and intelligence is bewildered, then you cannot stop. Stopping means only at this level. You're able to see the laser, no? So you have to break the chain of thoughts by disengaging and engaging in some positive Krishna conscious activity at this level. Once this level is crossed, then you are just awaiting. It's like you have already jumped from the terrace. After that, you can't do anything. Only maybe Shaktiman can come and save you, but there is no Shaktiman in reality. There is Param Shaktiman, that is Bhagwan. So the point which I am trying to say all this is, we discussed definitions of knowledge, we discussed how despite having knowledge and intelligence, people engage in embarrassing, sinful activities. And then we had a discussion on the DNA of all the sinful activities. And then there is the example of Arjuna. He was a man of knowledge. He had great self-control. He was not arrogant, good character, tolerant, humble, basically knowledgeable, well-cultured and expert. How many of you know this pastime of Arjuna rejecting Urvashi? How many of you don't know this pastime? Very good. You want to know? You know who is Arjuna? He is a prince. But his position is more than a king. Because all the kings of the world, they are knowing the strength and the power of Arjuna. He knew in his heart that if he wants, he can simply disobey Yudhishthir and do whatever he wants. And the whole world will bow down to him. But he never did that. So in the pursuit of divine weapons, there are two kinds of weapons. One is Astra and one is Shastra. Thank you. Shastra means physical weapons of mass destruction. Example, gun, tank, bombs, swords, physical weapons. That is Shastra. Astra means those weapons which run by the technology of mantras. You need certain qualification to invoke those weapons. And then they are very precise. For example, Brahmastra is an astra. It is much more powerful than a nuclear weapon also. It can destroy the whole universe. Suppose here if I throw a missile, how many of you will be alive after that? If a missile falls on this building? One person will be alive? No one. I thought she was saying one, that's me. All of you will die like cockroaches, but I'll be alive. So no one will be alive. But if somebody fires a Brahmastra, which is capable of destroying the whole universe with the precision, it can go and just hit the target and harm just one person and leave the rest untouched. That is Astra. So Astra is subtle warfare. Present day in Kali Yuga, nobody knows the art of subtle warfare. They only know the art of gross warfare. But there is something called subtle warfare which was known to people 5,000 years ago. That is called Astra. So Arjuna had all the Shastras, but to get the divine Astras, Divyastras, he had gone to a different planetary system called the heavenly planetary systems. Now there was a person called as Urvashi there. How many of you have seen a heavenly damsel or an apsara? Please raise your hand. TV serial? Nonsense, man. In TV serial, they pick up some people from earth and show. You don't know what is heavenly beauty. You really don't know. Urvashi was generated from the Uru or the thigh of Narayan Rishi. Narayan Rishi, one of the incarnations of Krishna, they were meditating and Kamdev was shooting arrows. I have broken the meditation of Lord Shiva also. Who are you? Like that he was thinking, and But Nar Narayan Rishi were not getting agitated only. In fact, Narayan Rishi took a hair from his thigh and threw on the ground, and that gave birth to Urvashi. And then Narayan Rishi said, Kamdev, you please stop, take this Apsara as a gift from my side and give it to Indra. And then she was the most beautiful person ever created, Urvashi. I don't want to get into the descriptions of Urvashi right now. But people of earth have not seen what is beauty. Seriously, I can tell you, after reading the Vedic scriptures, I understand at least this much. All things which you see around is like some third grade. Actually, if you want to see real beauty, you have to go to the spiritual world. Nobody is more beautiful than Mother Lakshmi. Or even for that matter, the last word in beauty is Krishna. Once you see God, or Mother Rukmini, this is the difference between spiritual beauty and material beauty. When you see material beauty, your senses get agitated. But when you see spiritual beauty, your senses become calm. So Mother Rukmini is writing a love letter to Krishna in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. She is saying that I have never met you, but I have heard about you from the saintly people who come to my father's palace. And simply by hearing about you, all my senses, angatapam, the agitation of my senses have become pacified. I am a young girl, but my senses are not agitated because I simply hear about you. So therefore I have fixed my mind upon you, my dear Lord. Please come and kidnap me and marry me. That's the summary of the letter. So when you see material beauty, your senses get agitated. But when you see spiritual beauty, all agitations are finished. So best of the material beauties are found in the heavenly planets. And the highest beauty is found in the spiritual world. And all the people sitting here cannot understand how beautiful Urvashi is. You really cannot imagine. And Arjuna, and why am I giving this similar? Arjuna is a resident of earth. He has no experience of heavenly beauty as such. And he is going to the heavenly planets, and a heavenly beauty is coming and approaching and telling, please enjoy with me. But look at his character. He said no. He said no to it. He used to respect the elders, and we all know that Draupadi Swayamvar episode. But even such a knowledgeable, well-cultured and expert personality, he fall into a very difficult situation in the Kurukshetra battle. That means knowledge and intelligence is not enough. We saw definitions of knowledge. All those definitions suit Arjuna, but still he is into difficulty. So therefore, the conclusion is, we all need a guide. Do you agree with me? The name of the session is, do I need a guide? How many of you think you need a guide? Arjuna also needed. Until unless you think, hey, I am better than Arjuna. All of us, do we need a guide? So Arjuna, there is a difference between people who get a guide and Arjuna. Most people don't get a guide because they don't have the humility to express that I need a guide. Especially in the Indian education system. If somebody doesn't know any answer in the school, other children laugh at them. If somebody doesn't know anything, they feel ashamed about it. So therefore they hide it. So therefore they just act as if they know everything. And this is the curse of India. That nobody knows the Bhagavad Gita, but when we talk about Bhagavad Gita, karam karo, phal ki chinta mat karo. Theek, sab malum hai. They are ashamed to accept the fact that, my dear friend, I have never read the Bhagavad Gita in my life. I don't even know a single verse. All I know is what is about Bhagavad Gita is from the WhatsApp University. And WhatsApp University says, तुम वो करो जो मैं चाहता हूं तो वो होगा जो तुम चाहते हो, जो हो रहा है अच्छे के लिए हो रहा है, जो होगा वो भी अच्छे के लिए होगा. यही है भगवत गीता. अगर हम लोग पूछेंगे वेयर इज दिस रिटन इन द भगवद गीता, अरे व्हाट्सएप, तुम वो करो जो मैं चाहता हूँ, तो वो होगा जो तुम चाहते हो. Lord Krishna is saying, it seems this. And there are many TV serials which start with Lord Krishna holding the flute, sitting on a jhula and saying something. What they say, God knows. Sometimes they show Krishna speaking politics and Krishna ka gyan. Many people, almost on a daily basis, they send me some posters. Krishna Gita, Krishna Gyan, Gita Rahasya. But till now I have not been able to find where is all that mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. So therefore we are ashamed to accept that we need help. Because we think a person who needs help is not good enough. Even the corporate world teaches this only. You have to be self-sufficient. I am paying you for it. Otherwise get fired. Here is the pink slip. But Arjuna was not ashamed to accept that he needs help. Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava prichhami tvam dharma sammudha chetah yat shreyasyan nishchitam bruhi tanme nishishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. Now I am confused about my duty and I have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. I am your disciple, a soul surrendered unto you, please instruct me. So therefore, before 2.7 of Bhagavad Gita, you will see Krishna and Arjuna are talking like friends, where Arjuna is giving 5 reasons not to fight the battle. Good reasons, ethical reasons. And Krishna is telling, okay, theek hai, no problem. Then Arjuna understood this friendly conversation will not help me. So therefore he makes this statement, Shishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. I am your disciple, a soul surrendered unto you, please instruct me. So from after this verse, the friendly relationship between Krishna and Arjuna breaks. And then Krishna takes the role of a teacher and Arjuna becomes a student. And the first thing which Krishna does is scold Arjuna, that you are an idiot. Seriously, you read the verse number 2.10, it is almost like that only. So therefore, Arjuna allowed Krishna to help. So therefore, we all must give this privilege to at least someone in our life to help us, to counsel us, to question us, to grill us. To correct us. Please understand that the idea that I always have to be perfect, this idea will betray us and break us and destroy us someday. Because other than God, nobody else is perfect. The idea that I should not take help from someone will simply cheat us. The idea that I have to be perfect, I have to be correct, I have to be self-sufficient, so much so that I really don't need any help from anyone. Either I will find the way or I will make my own way. This kind of WhatsApp university statements will not help us. We have to accept that I can be wrong. If somebody corrects me, then I am the beneficiary. And it is possible that I can be corrected. Such a person will give this privilege to someone to correct them. Are you all with me till now? Thank you. Are you all with me? Why? Because it is very difficult. Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. That means everybody needs a guide. There is only one person who does not need a guide. Who is that person? But he also accepted a guide. When he comes, he accepts a spiritual master. Have you seen? Just to set the right example. So therefore, technically, there is no one who does not need a guide. Do you agree? So therefore, Lord Krishna teaches the process of knowledge. We gave you 3 different definitions of knowledge. Now, how to get that knowledge is described in chapter 4, sloka number 34. Please repeat. Tad vidhi pranipatena pari prashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina sattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. But how to learn? The first step is to approach a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service to him. That means first, you cannot just go and start asking questions. First you do seva. Try to please the spiritual master. When the spiritual master starts thinking, okay, here is a person going out of their way to assist me, I want to bless the person. So try to serve them, and then submissively, not egoistically or in a challenging mood or arrogantly or in a way with an intention to test. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge. We have read the definitions of knowledge. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they themselves have seen the truth. So basically, it's not a one-time business. One has to approach a spiritual master not in a challenging mood, but in a mood of submissive inquiry, in a service attitude, with a desire to please. See, electricity always flows from high potential to low potential. This much everybody knows. So if I am always thinking that I know everything, I am perfect, I don't need help, no help will come to us from anywhere. But if I think that yes, I need help, there are so many divine personalities, I need help. So therefore I should not act very smart in front of them. In fact, there is a Vedic injunction that one should act like a fool in front of their spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada had one disciple. He had a habit of saying, I know. So Srila Prabhupada used to instruct him sometimes. He said that, okay, now you have to go and get that paper from Mayapur. I know Srila Prabhupada, I know. And then after coming back from there, then you should instruct this person to go to the printing press. I know Srila Prabhupada. And then you come back here and then we need to discuss the construction of this temple. I know Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada one day said that I think you know everything, I should stop telling you. Then he realized his mistake. He was not doing it purposely but unintentionally. So therefore one should act like a fool in front of their spirit. Even if you know something, you just keep quiet. If the Guru asks you something, then you answer. But don't try to, challenge the Guru or outsmart the Guru. Because if a Guru sees, this is very well qualified, such nice, he doesn't need my help, chalo, I will go and spend time with someone who needs my help. Then you miss the mercy. The message here is, don't try to impress the Guru, try to serve the Guru. Does it make sense? This is knowledge. Don't try to impress the Guru, try to serve the Guru. So therefore one should remain a fool in front of their spiritual master. This is knowledge. And that is what Lord Krishna is telling. Knowledge does not come from Wikipedia. Knowledge does not come from Instagram. Knowledge does not come from online classes. Knowledge comes when you approach a spiritual master and serve them and try to please them and then submissively ask questions. No blind acceptance, no blind rejection. It's a scientific process. Now you may ask, the process you are telling is correct, process of knowledge. But how do I ensure who is a genuine and bona fide spiritual master? Correct, no? So I will answer that question now. So the next thing which I want to discuss is different kinds of gurus. How many kinds are there, do you think? I'll tell you. First category of gurus. Very famous, existing everywhere. Free advice gurus. They just want to show that they know everything. And they have no idea about the problem they are dealing with. They have no qualification to solve it. And they are genuinely not interested in our well-being. They just, Vachu Vegam is there. The urge to speak is not controlled. So they will give advice on every topic. And they will never come back and check, hey, I gave you advice, did it help you? Advice दे के निकल जाएंगे, दूसरे को advice देंगे, फिर next. Have you met such people? Or are you one free advice guru? So this is not a guru. This is a nonsense person. Sometimes they come in the form of colleagues. Sometimes they come in the form of friends. Sometimes they come in the form of relatives. Sometimes they come in the form of our house help. Sometimes they come in various forms. Some forms I cannot tell also, but I hope you are understanding. Another kind of gurus, exploiting gurus. I have put 2 photos here. From this you should try to understand. What are the 2 photos here? Very good. So these, in the Vedic culture, 3 things are meant to be quick and to be completely free and impartial. Medicine, justice and knowledge. In the Vedic culture, 3 things are free, impartial and quick. But now that those things only have become the most costly, most expensive, and they will do daylight robbery. Especially our doctors. Any doctor here? No offense. They get targets that इस महीने आपको 4 सर्जरी करना ही है. कैसे करोगे वो तुम देख लो. Crazy man, they will want to do surgery for everything. So they get targets. What can they do? Similarly, the lawyers. Anybody has any experience of having any legal battle or legal case? Okay, all of you are from criminal background, I thought. Once I was distributing Bhagavad Gita on the road, a person said, I don't want it. Those who are sinful and criminals, they should take Bhagavad Gita. We are nice people. We do puja. So we don't need Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita means jail people or people who are in depression or like that. So all of you were coming, so I thought you were all criminals or depressed or drug addicts or because good people never come to Gita class now. They just do puja. Jai Lakshmi Mata. So yeah, the lawyers, both the lawyers of both the parties, they are friends with each other. And they say that, okay, I will prolong the case from my side, you also prolong the case from your side, you say this nonsense, I will say this nonsense. The case will continue for 5 years, we'll keep getting. This happens, this is a daily affair. Like this, there are many exploiting gurus. There are some so-called pseudo-spiritual organizations also, which I don't want to name. They talk only about the body. They never talk about the soul. Some spiritual organizations say that spirituality is nothing but peace of mind. But Lord Krishna says you are not the mind. You are not the intelligence. Some spiritual organizations, they say, get into ecstasy by doing sense gratification. Sambhog se samadhi. which literally means have so much sex that you will become God or you will realize God someday. There are spirits, they call themselves, I mean, what nonsense. They will never put even one verse of Bhagavad Gita. They will never talk about the soul or the transmigration of soul. They will never tell you how to control your mind. They will just say, मुझे cash दो, मैं तुमको ash दूंगा. You just keep giving me this % of your salary. And then, yesterday I was traveling and one of my friends, he was telling me that there is some personality, he gives classes and 50% of his classes is about fundraising. And he'll take a target of 15 crores or something. And before the class finishes, those much funds come. Did you understand what I said? He'll give a class and before the class finishes, funds आ जाता है. इतना अच्छा spiritual strength है. So these are pseudo spiritual organizations. They also are exploiting gurus. So what is the definition of a real guru? This is the definition of a real guru. Please listen very carefully. This will save you from so many miseries. तितिक्षवः कारुणिकः सुहृदः सर्वदेहिनाम् अजात शत्रवः शान्तः साधवः साधुभूषणः. A true guru is a sadhu. And what are the symptoms of a sadhu? Number 1, titikshavaha, very tolerant. Karunikaha, merciful. Suhridah sarvadehinam, best friend of all living entities. Means a true guru is a friend of humans also, friend of the chickens also, friend of the fishes also, friend of the eggs also, friend of the cows also, friend of your enemies also, friend of Indians also and friend of Pakistanis also. Suhrida sarvadehinam, ajat shatravaha. Ajat shatravaha means he does not consider anybody as his enemy. Shantaha, he has controlled all his senses, as a result of which he is peaceful. The 6 urges which I was talking about, he's controlled it. And Sadhu Bhushanaha, that means he follows the Vedic culture, he follows the scriptures, he abides by the scriptures. If there is a guru who says, I have never read the Bhagavad Gita, I have never read any books of the Vedic culture, but I have written 2 books that you should read. The best thing which I did is I remained uneducated. I did not read the Bhagavad Gita, but I am a guru. It's like you're standing in the Supreme Court and you're saying, I have never read the Constitution of India and I never went to college, but I am a lawyer. Or rather, I am the judge of the Supreme Court, CJI, Chief Justice of India. And there are so many people who follow. He has never read the Constitution, he has never studied, and he is the Chief Justice. I will take shelter of him. Amazing, no? I have never attended even a single lecture. I have never read any books on medicine. But today is your backbone surgery. I will do it. Hey Kali Ma, पितृपक्ष में ये बलि स्वीकार कर ले. And people fall for them. People want to be cheated. That's why such cheaters exist. How dare someone call themselves a guru when they have not heard from the Supreme Guru, who is Krishna? Actually, there is only one spiritual master, that is God, Krishna. Everybody else who repeats the word of Krishna becomes a secondary spiritual master. But then there are such miscreants in the society who never repeat the word of God, who have never studied the Vedic literature, who think Ved Vyas wasted his time, Arjuna wasted his time, Valmiki wasted his time. Everybody was waste. I have appeared now. I have not read even Bhagavad Gita, but you have to follow me. And I am the right Guru. We reject such gurus. Therefore, the Vedic culture says a guru, I'll give you many definitions of guru. First definition is this: Titikshavaha karunikaha suhridaha sarvadehinama ajat shatravaha shantaha sadhava sadhubhushana. The symptoms of our sadhu are that he is tolerant, merciful, friendly to all living entities, including people from Pakistan also, and chickens also, eggs also, fishes also. He has no enemies. He is peaceful and he abides by the scriptures. And all his characteristics are sublime. One definition of Guru. Next definition coming from Bhagavad Gita. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashtaha parantapa. Another qualification of a Guru is that he should have physically served his own Guru. He should have heard from his Guru, he should have served his Guru, he should have the faith, the knowledge does not transfer from speech to ear. Knowledge does not transfer from chalk on the board to your notebook. Knowledge transfers from heart to heart. That's why Lord Krishna was telling in this verse, you see. The self-realized souls can impart the knowledge to you because they have seen the truth. It is a heart-to-heart transfer. So knowledge doesn't come if you say that my Guru is some, I don't know, I'm just taking some random name, some Maha-avatar Babaji, whom I never met, who came only in my dream, who have been told to be existing some 3,000 years ago, not much reference. He came in my dream, he is my Guru. I never met him, I never served him, but he is my Guru. At least Lord Krishna rejects it. Lord Krishna says, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yoga nashtaha paramtapa. He is saying about the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna that this supreme science was received through a chain of disciplic succession. Guru Shishya, chain of disciplic succession. And whom is the Bhagavad Gita meant for? Monks who have shaved their head? No. The Bhagavad Gita is meant for administrators, saintly kings. The primary student of a Bhagavad Gita is a ruler or an administrator, a leader of the society. Bhagavad Gita is meant for them actually. You please see what Krishna is telling. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession. Guru Shishya Parampara. And the saintly kings understood it in that way. That means the saintly kings, the administrators, the rulers, the leaders of the world, they became a part of this Guru Shishya Parampara, where the Guru has a Shishya and then that Shishya becomes the Guru and then imparts the knowledge to his Shishya and then this Shishya becomes Guru and then they imparts the knowledge to his Shishya. In this way the knowledge is imparted without any adulteration, as it is. No mirch masala. So the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time this succession was broken. Sometimes when one Guru adulterates the message, or when one Guru does not make further disciples, then the parampara system gets broken. This is such a serious thing that when this parampara system gets broken, Krishna comes himself to restart the parampara. Whenever the science, the parampara system, it appears to be lost, that knowledge is lost. So if you see verse number 4.1, this is 4.2. In 4.1, Krishna says, whenever this chain of knowledge breaks, I come every time and re-establish it. This parampara system, Guru Shishya Parampara, is so important that Krishna personally comes and re-establishes it. But there are some people who say, I never served my Guru, but I have become your Guru, you should listen to me, and I am the right Guru. You cannot say that Balram is my Guru, or you cannot say that Rupa Goswami, who lived 600 years ago, is my Guru. You need to have a Prakat Guru who should be belonging to a parampara which is properly established, and you should have served your Guru and got blessings from your Guru, then you will get knowledge. Does this make sense? I am not saying this, Lord Krishna is saying this. If you have a problem, you can go and talk to Lord Krishna. That there is one Guru on internet who is saying something else, but Lord Krishna is saying, Lord Krishna will say, let that Guru die and come to me, I will take care. So now we have given you descriptions of Gurus. We gave you definitions of knowledge. We proved how knowledge and intelligence is not sufficient. Everybody needs a guide. Now, based on all this Prishtbhumi, based on all this knowledge which you have understood, what is knowledge, what is the symptoms of knowledge, who is qualified to become a Guru, who is an actual Guru, why knowledge and intelligence is not sufficient, and why all of us need a guide. Now that you have understood this much, I will now present the life and the teachings of one Guru. He is His Divine Grace, Abhay Charana Ravind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I am not presenting this description of Srila Prabhupada because this is ISKCON. Not presenting because he is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. But I am just presenting it to you that based on all this understanding, you only judge for yourself whether he is a genuine spiritual master or not. So Srila Prabhupada, when he was 5 years old, he used to celebrate Rath Yatra. He asked his father that I want to take out Rath Yatra. So his father made a small Jagannath cart where he used to keep Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, and the Jagannath Ratha used to go around in the neighborhood, and people used to participate, prasadam used to be distributed, etc., etc., etc. Right from childhood, he was very dedicated. However, as he grew up, in those days, the freedom struggle of India was going on. So, Srila Prabhupada at that time, a married man, his name was Abhay Charan De, family man. Abhay Charan De, alternatively known as Abhay Babu, joined the freedom struggle of India. He rejected his bachelor degree because Gandhiji told, don't accept any degrees. So he was very much a follower of Gandhiji, and he was going in that direction. But in 1922, Abhay Charan De was dragged by one of his friends that a very great saintly personality has come here. Let's go and meet him. Abhay Babu was from a Vaishnav family, but he was losing his respect for saintly people because he used to see saintly people coming, talking like saintly people, and after that going and smoking cigarette and beer. So he was losing respect. Because he was not seeing a genuine saint, a genuine saintly personality, he was not seeing in a long time. So he was beginning to lose faith in saintly people. But his friend dragged him, and in 1922 in Ulta Danga Junction, which is in Kolkata, very close to Kolkata, he met his spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So this is young Abhay Babu, and this is his spiritual master, and this is a photogenic description. The spiritual master is sitting here, and Abhay Babu, a family man, along with his friend, they are sitting and they are having a discussion. At that time, he was a manager of a chemical company, and his friend dragged him to meet Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And as soon as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he saw Abhay Babu, he said, "You are a young man and you are educated. Why don't you preach the message of Bhagavad Gita in the English language so that all the Babus like you will understand the value of Bhagavad Gita and Vedic culture?" So at that time, Abhay Babu told that, "My dear Maharaj, our country is not independent now. Our country is in subjugation. Who is going to listen to your message of Lord Chaitanya? Who is going to listen to your message of Bhagavad Gita?" So at that time, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explained him that governments may come and go, powers may come and go, rulers may come and go, as history knows. But the message of Bhagavad Gita is very urgent. It cannot stop. And then an argument started. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the spiritual master, he convinced young Abhay Babu that the message of Krishna is an urgent emergency. It cannot stop for various political and ever-changing political situations of the world. You cannot say that right now in Ukraine the situation is very tense, so I will stop preaching Bhagavad Gita there. No, in this situation most need is there. So political situations cannot decide what is urgent and what is not urgent. In this world there is no lack of anything, there is only lack of one thing, that is Krishna consciousness, God consciousness. So in that way, 1922, Abhay Babu, a young dynamic family man, was defeated by his spiritual master and he was convinced. And then when he came down after meeting him, his friend asked him, "What do you think about this saintly person?" So Abhay Babu said, "I think the message of Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya is in the right hands. Today I have met a genuine sadhu." And in his heart, he accepted Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati as his spiritual master. But then life continued. He moved from this place to Allahabad for his business purpose. But in all the time in his heart, he kept thinking that I have met a very nice, genuine, saintly person. He is my guru. He is my guru. Like that he kept thinking. In between, once or twice he met him again. He used to go and hear his lectures. Now Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur or Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, you don't know who he is. First you have to read what he has written or what kind of a person he is. He was the greatest scholar of his time. It is said that when he would give a lecture, only those whose hearts are pure, they would understand. People with contaminated hearts, they will not understand also. There is a book, many books written by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Even today, if you read it, you will not understand the English, which he wrote in 1896. You will not understand. Such a highly qualified person. Sometime we can have a class especially on Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. How various kings of India, they were mad behind him that you come and you become the governor of my kingdom. Or you come and you become my advisor. Such a highly sought after person. Extremely intelligent. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Divine personality. Srila Prabhupada would always call him a Vaikuntha man. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati defeated him and he was always thinking that I met my guru and he is a very nice man. So time passed by and in the year 1932, 10 years later, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave Abhay Babu initiation and he gave him the name Abhay Charanaravindra Das. In 1936, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur passed away. So just before he was passing in 1935, somewhere that time, Abhay Charanaravindra De, also known as Abhay Babu, wrote a letter again to his spiritual master that you have so many, my dear Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, you have so many sannyasis disciples, they are serving you day and night. I am a family man, a grihastha, a businessman. What service I can do to you? I neither have knowledge nor I have time. How can I serve you? He first met in 1922, and 15 years later when he wrote this letter after receiving initiation, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati replied back with the same message. You should preach the message of Bhagavad Gita in English language. This will be good for you and others also. So that instruction, he understood that this is the instruction of my life. He made that one single instruction as his life and soul. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was a very illustrious personality. It is said that when he used to travel in India in trains, people used to come to know that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati is traveling. So every station the train used to stop. And the people of the nearby villages or cities, they used to come, we'll meet Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And every station, one class. And then the station manager, the driver, the guard, everybody used to sit and listen. And then when class is over, then the train will go. And there only prasadam and all, nice journey. No make any arrangement. So that was his influence. Very strong, powerful personality, the purest of his times, and the most brilliant personality. People used to call him a ray of God. Prabhupada only calls him one thing, he is a Vaikuntha man, that's all. Whenever people used to ask Prabhupada, tell us something about your spiritual master, he used to say, oh, I am not qualified to talk about him, he was a Vaikuntha man. All, nothing else. So after the passing away of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Abhay Babu was continuing his business. And then he was meditating that I should preach in the English language, although Abhay Babu was a Bengali and English is not his native language, but with great difficulty in 1944, before independence, he started a magazine called as Back to Godhead magazine, where it was written, Godhead is light, nescience is darkness. Where there is Godhead, there is no nescience. Back to Godhead magazine he started. Now, I will quickly tell few events in very brief. He was distributing these magazines as a businessman. He used to only type, he used to only get it printed, he used to only go and distribute it to people, sometimes for free, sometimes for little money. So he was distributing it in a tea stall one day. So one person sitting in the tea stall told, why are you distributing these magazines? People read the magazine and throw it away. You should distribute books, because books will always remain with people. He thought, Abhay Babu thought that this is a very nice idea. In fact, he understood that Krishna is speaking through that person. So he started, he understood that there is a great need of Bhagavad Gita in the society. All the English translations if the children can keep quiet and if the mothers can pay attention, I don't know how they'll pay attention, but if the guardians can pay attention and if the children can keep quiet, it will be good service to this class. So, at that time, Srila Prabhupada, who was Abhay Babu now, he saw that there is a great need of Bhagavad Gita in the society. And whenever he used to pick up any Bhagavad Gita, he used to see all the translations are personally motivated, politically motivated. It is not as it is translation. That is why ISKCON's Bhagavad Gita is called Bhagavad Gita as it is. In every Bhagavad Gita, I feel, according to me, in my opinion, that language was there. In some Bhagavad Gitas, they had killed Krishna only by saying, you are Krishna. So all that nonsense was there. So Abhay Babu, he started translating the Bhagavad Gita. He used to go for his business, come back home, and then He was seeing the commentaries of the previous acharyas on Bhagavad Gita and he was translating it in English. Even Prabhupada did not write what he thought. He just translated the commentaries of the previous acharyas. So he was working, and then over a period of time, his business was not giving much returns and he was becoming old, his sons were growing up. One day when he came back home, he was looking for his manuscript of Bhagavad Gita, which he had been writing for years. He asked his wife, "Where is my Bhagavad Gita?" His wife told, "Oh, that I sold it." To whom? To the kabadi wala. Why? I had to buy some tea biscuits. Srila Prabhupada's wife was never supportive. But he was continuing in family life because family life has challenges. Many times Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to come in the dream of Srila Prabhupada and order him, "You have to take sannyas." But he was thinking, how will I take sannyas? How will I live? He used to feel horrified. 2-3 times his guru came in his dream, "You should take sannyas," but he didn't take. How can I do? I am a family man, I cannot do all that. So then Krishna arranged for something drastic. Srila Prabhupada asked his wife, "What do you want, tea or me?" Guess what the wife answered? She said, "Tea." Prabhupada didn't say anything. Just next day he was no longer in the house. So that's how Prabhupada says that that's how I left the house. My sons had grown up. My wife was a rich man's daughter. There was no need for me. It was time to move on. When Srila Prabhupada told this incident to his disciples told, "We are so thankful to your wife that she sold your... Otherwise, we wouldn't have been with you today." So we should not look at the wife from a critical angle. Beach diya uska book. That was Krishna's plan. It was Krishna's plan. Krishna says in the Bhagavatam, if one of my devotees, if some of my devotees, if they are very sincere and very serious in bhakti, but if they have some slight attachments, then I give them some treatment by which they can break off the last vestiges of their attachment. Yasyaham anugranami harishye tad dhanam shanaihi, Krishna says. That when I become specially merciful on someone, I break their attachments. And the biggest attachment in this world is money. So if somebody is very serious and sincere, and if they are attached to money, society and all these things, then Krishna will take away all those things. And then you will be forced to take full shelter of the devotees of Krishna and Krishna. And in that way you will progress in bhakti. That is why many people know they don't worship Krishna. Hare Baba, he will make me a pure person. I don't want to become pure. I want to remain like this, a lusty, greedy, angry fellow. At least for next 10 lifetimes, I want to enjoy. But Krishna doesn't think like that. So in this way, he took sannyas in 1960. And with great difficulty for 10 years, unspeakable difficulties, he published the first volume of Srimad Bhagavatam. He used to stay, this is a great detail, I can give a separate class, but he used to stay in a temple in Vrindavan. He used to, with his 2 fingers, he used to type on the typewriter. Then he used to skip his breakfast and go to Chippiwada Lane, Delhi from Vrindavan, meet the printer, get the books, get the paper, do the binding. And after great difficulty in 1964, now known as Abhay Charnaravind Bhaktivedanta Swami or Prabhupada, he presented his first volume of Bhagavatam to Lal Bahadur Shastri, who is also known as a very educated person. When Lal Bahadur Shastri, the then Prime Minister of India, saw the Bhagavatam which Srila Prabhupada has presented, he became so much thrilled and became so much affected by it that he immediately gave an order that all the government libraries of all over India should have two copies of Prabhupada's Bhagavatam. Now, this is not sufficient glorification of the Bhagavatam which Prabhupada had written, but I am just giving an example that a personality like Lal Bahadur Shastri made this recommendation. So you can imagine, it was not an ordinary book which Prabhupada had written. Then, in 1965, he got an indication from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur again, that now you should go to the West and preach. Point to be noted, he is 69 years old. It's been 12 years he has left his family. He is a nobody and he has no money. But his guru comes in his dream now and tells him you should go to the West. And how you should go? You should carry this Bhagavatam. As a servant of Bhagavatam, you go to the West and try to preach Krishna consciousness. So on 13th of August 1965, this 70-year-old man, 69-year, 70-year-old man, who knows nobody in USA, with just 40 rupees, with no contacts. Actually, I am lying. I will be wrong if I say 40, with no money. He boarded a ship called Jaladuta. He contacted Sumati Moraji, who was the owner of this shipping company, and he requested her that give me a free passage in your ship. So she arranged for Swamiji. First she told Swamiji, if you go there, you will die. It is a cold country, you don't know anybody there, you have never been there. What will you eat? What will you wear? You are going to die. But he told, no, I have to go. Somehow he convinced her that you give me a free passage. And he went. And on 14th September 1965, he landed in USA, Boston Harbor. So today is the day when Srila Prabhupada landed in USA. That is why we are choosing to speak about Prabhupada today. But before landing in the Boston Harbor, he managed to sell the Bhagavatam copies to the captain of the ship, Captain Pandya, who gave him 40 rupees. So with 40 rupees, he lands in the New York Harbor, not in the Boston Harbor, but New York Harbor. And he tells his disciples later on that when I landed for the first time, I didn't know whether to go left or whether to go right. And the 40 rupees which I had was an expenditure of few hours in New York. In those days, 5 rupees was $1, not like now. So literally with $8, he was in New York. He didn't have a house. He didn't know anyone. But he had the instruction of his spiritual master. Unspeakable difficulties. An old man at the age of 70. Once I was trying to explain these contributions, one person told that you will never be able to explain these contributions until you become 70 years old. Then you will understand what Prabhupada has done. It is very easy to speak, he did this, he did that. But when you are 70, we will see what you can do. Alone, he went. He stayed in a place, generally Swamis and Yogis, when they used to go, they used to make friendship with the rich people and move in the uptowns, change their attire, come back with Western outlook. But he went and stayed in a place called Bowery, where all the drug addicts used to stay, because he had no other resources. And he continued struggling for 1 year. Sometimes those drug addicts people used to steal away things from his room. The janitor used to steal his typewriter. The hippies who used to stay sharing the room They would mistreat him. So much difficulty he went through. It is mentioned that every time he used to go to the harbor and ask the company that when is the next ship back to India. So the captain asked that, Swamiji, you come every month and you ask when is the next ship, but you never board the ship. He said, what to do? My Guru has ordered me to do this seva. So I am just trying to continue. So after a great struggle for 1 year, by the way, he tried to write the Bhagavad Gita second time in New York. But the janitor of the building stole his typewriter and Bhagavad Gita again. First time tea biscuit, second time janitor. The Bhagavad Gita which you have is the third attempt made by a 73-year-old man when he did not sleep for nights so that you can have the Bhagavad Gita as it is. So you should be very grateful that this elderly saintly gentleman did not sleep for nights together just to give you something which you can utilize and go back home, back to God. What he got in return? He had only one desire, to please his Guru. Because his Guru ordered him 40 years ago, preach in English language. So struggle continued. He had no resources. He used to write to all the Birlas and the big Tatas and all the big people. He used to write from New York that you help me, send me some money. I want to do this preaching. But nobody helped him. So one day, he went in 1966. He went to a park called Tompkins Square Park. He sat down and he started doing Hare Krishna Kirtan. Even the people of America recognized this event. They named that tree as Hare Krishna tree. The place where Prabhupada sat down and he did Kirtan. And all the young people who were there around at that time, they got attracted to the chanting of the holy name, Hare Krishna. And they came and they started sitting with Prabhupada. He's simply doing Kirtan. He has no mridanga, nothing, only one kartal, maybe not even this. He had just one drum kind of thing, which he locally purchased. And he was just singing Hare Krishna, a 72-year-old man with a heavy Bengali accent, who's not good looking, not beautiful, not young. But all the young Americans of that time, between the age 18 to 28, they were coming and sitting with this old man. And he was chanting Hare Krishna, they were singing and dancing. And then after the Kirtan, he used to give a half-an-hour class like that. That's how ISKCON started. All the people who say that ISKCON is a Videshi organization and that ISKCON is sending money to the foreign countries, you should check the facts first. You should check the facts. With great difficulty, ISKCON was conceived by an Indian Swami. And with the same difficulty, present day ISKCON centers are continuing. See that? Because we have lack of funds. And Srila Prabhupada wanted it to be like this. He said that there should be no central account anywhere. Every temple, every center should struggle. Otherwise the monks, they will simply eat and sleep in the ashram, money will keep coming, they will have no spiritual anxiety, and then they will fall down from their spiritual position. So therefore, do your sadhana, go out, preach, distribute, sell the books, get some Lakshmi, run the center, serve the prasadam, live a hard life. That is what Srila Prabhupada wanted. Every ISKCON center and temple is struggling to meet its ends. So when some bogus claims come, just like McDonald is sending money to USA, ISKCON is also sending. This is like, at least I feel very hurt because I know how ISKCON was created. People don't know the facts. In 1966, Srila Prabhupada founded this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The lawyer was telling, why do you call it International Society for Krishna Consciousness? Call it International Society for God Consciousness. Then more people will come. He said, no, God is Krishna. It should be International Society for Krishna Consciousness. I want people to know. So in this way, he introduced Krishna and the Vedic culture to the whole world. There are so many people who talk about how great Sanatan Dharma is. It is spreading. Even people of Germany are accepting Sanatan Dharma. Even Sanatan Dharma ka bolbala hai in different parts of the world. But who did this work? All these content creators who are yapping on their videos that Sanatan Dharma is so great that it is there in Germany also, Australia also, New Zealand also, Pakistan also, Bulgaria also. Did they do something for Sanatan Dharma there? It was Srila Prabhupada who has done. Even during his times when Russia was an iron curtain, where anybody who used to speak about God used to be shot. In those circumstances, Srila Prabhupada went to Russia with the Bhagavad Gita in his hand. He was arrested at the security check-in. He took those risks. And then he went there and met one boy, young boy, talked to him for 5 hours and came back. And that boy, having received initiation from Prabhupada in those 5 hours, created a revolution in Russia. So therefore, after India, if there is any place where Krishna consciousness is spreading very rapidly, it is Russia. And Russians, you should go in Rath Yatra. You see how much devotion they have for Jagannath. You will feel ashamed that you are an Indian and you have no devotion for Krishna. The way they serve, oh my God, with tears in their eyes. That is the work of Srila Prabhupada. Look at this photo. This is real United Nations. Boys, children, people of different cultures and different parts of the world, all coming and offering obeisances to the Acharya. An 80-year-old man who never gave any salary to any of his disciples. He just gave them connection with God. This is called spreading Sanatan Dharma. Once he was in London, UK, and a very arrogant reporter asked Srila Prabhupada this question, Swamiji, why you have come here? So Srila Prabhupada smiled and answered, when Britishers came to India, they looted everything. But they forgot to loot the most valuable thing, that is Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. I have come to give home delivery of that. He was a very witty person, by the way. So if this kind of photos you are seeing anywhere in the internet, it is because of the selfless work of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, the young Americans, Europeans, and later on the young Indians who gave their life to him. That is Srila Prabhupada. Rath Yatras all over the world, the activity which he used to do when he was 5 years old. He is the one who has introduced marriage and other samskaras and other Vedic cultures in different parts of the world. He is the one who made young Americans mad behind Bhagavad Gita more than what Indians will ever do in their life. So many copies of Bhagavad Gita was there all over the world, but nobody was becoming a devotee of Krishna after reading it. But when Srila Prabhupada brought out this Bhagavad Gita as it is, you pick up any Bhagavad Gita, even the foreign universities are appreciating it. But it is so sad that not even a single Indian university has it. But there are foreign universities who have approved it as a curriculum. But Indian universities will read some nonsense, not Bhagavad Gita. So he introduced, if there is somebody who is a real ambassador of India, it is Srila Prabhupada. Nobody else can take that place. If you think that there is anybody else, go to their samadhi and stand there. Stand for 2-3 hours. See how many people come and offer respects and obeisances. And then you go to the samadhi of Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON Krishna Balram Mandir. Stand there half an hour. 5,000 people will come and offer obeisances and go there. And 5,000 people will be from at least 50 countries of the world. How many people will come at your samadhi? People dedicated their lives. Once when he went to the Times Square, New York, when he saw the cars rushing and people just walking and running and working, and he started crying. He was in tears that this is not the purpose of human life. Why these peoples are simply running and like donkeys, they are just wasting their life. This is called Suhridah Sarvadehinam. When he brought, why he went to the West, he had a plan also. Before going to the West, he tried to do some preaching in India, in Jhansi, in English language. But nobody was serious about it. So then he realized that everybody is trying to ape the Western culture. If I make Westerners devotees of Krishna, and if I bring my Western disciples, whom he used to call as white elephants, he said that when I bring these white elephants to India and make them sing and dance in Hari Kirtan, then Indians will follow. So with this idea, he went to the West, he preached, and then he brought those white elephants in India, and then the whole country was following him. He gave initiations to so many people. Once a butcher came to take initiation from Srila Prabhupada. Butcher. Which guru? Because whenever a guru gives initiation to someone, he takes the karma of that person. Would you like to take the karma of a butcher? But Srila Prabhupada gave him initiation. He just told him, you should chant 16 rounds and you should stop killing. But even if you cannot stop killing, at least don't kill the cows. This was Prabhupada's mood. The more you read about him, the more your heart will melt. Even when he was going on the ship to America, he suffered from 2 heart attacks. He was telling that I was thinking if I will get a 3rd heart attack, I will not survive. If anybody else would have been there, they would have told, okay, I tried my best, but I couldn't do it. But Prabhupada did it. If somebody tells you the story of how a man just from 40 rupees, rather 0 rupees, with no money, goes into a foreign land to introduce Krishna consciousness, where meat eating, gambling, illicit sex and intoxication is the natural way of life. And he goes and starts preaching there, and in 12 years, he becomes successful in establishing 108 temples, 7 gurukuls, and writes 87 books, and travels the world 14 times in these 12 years. If somebody tells you this story, you will not believe it. Is this not a miracle? Those who are in business, from 0 to 400 crore in 12 years. And he doesn't own anything. When he became a very famous man, Swami Prabhupada, then from his family, one of his elder sons came. That you are my father, you have established ISKCON, give me that property. At that time, Srila Prabhupada took out those 40 rupees and gave it to him. He said, only this much is mine, rest belongs to Krishna, you have no claim on Krishna's property. So whatever he had, he gave it to his son also. Nothing he had. Other people, if they will generate a 400 crore empire, they will claim it. Ye mera hai. Best rooms should be given to me. Best car should be. There was one so-called pseudo-spiritual guru. He had a target that I should have 100 what? 100 cars. Which car it was, I don't know. He was successful in collecting 100 Rolls Royce. During that time, here is Srila Prabhupada. So much so, he was so much attached to the instruction of his guru. His guru told you, preach in English language. Now, preaching cannot be done simply on Instagram. For preaching, you need books. So, until the last breath of his life, you see, he is on his deathbed. This is Sri Krishna Balram Temple, Vrindavan. He is about to quit his body. But even at that time, he is translating Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because his guru ordered him to preach in the English language. Till death, he is following the instructions of his guru. Evam param para praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu. Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 shloka number 2. A disciple who has served his guru and pleased his guru. Only such a disciple can be a guru. So the glories are endless. I am not doing proper justice, but I have limited time. So this is the contributions in brief. He wrote more than 80 volumes of books during the age of 80. He traveled the globe 14 times in 12 years. He had no money. He established 108 temples. And now there is a difference between other temples and ISKCON temples. In many other temples, Srila Prabhupada used to say, most of the temples in India are bell ringing organizations, that's all. Go and ring the bell, they will give you little prasad, you come back. But Srila Prabhupada said, my temples should not be bell ringing organizations. My temples should be centers of Vedic education. So therefore in ISKCON temple, more important than worship is education. Therefore in ISKCON temples, every Sunday you will find some 100 people sitting. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam discussions will be going on. Katha, Kirtan, Prasadam and deity worship. Any ISKCON temple you go, the highest investment they will make on the kitchen to serve nice prasadam and the classrooms where people can sit and hear. It is my desire to make a better classroom also. I have a desire where there should be comfortable chairs with foldable structure in which people can write and take notes so that people can be comfortable. I have such desires, and I want to have multiple seminar halls, audio-visual, where at the same time multiple discussions can be going on. I wanted to have a big Govinda's restaurant, and in the restaurant should be a library where people can pick up one of the Prabhupada books and eat the Mahaprasad. These kind of ideas I also have. But look at what Prabhupada has done. 108 temples. 108 temples in 12 years. Who can do this? Who can do this? Is it humanly possible? 108 temples, gurukuls, farm communities, and most of these temples are in abroad. In India only Hyderabad, Juhu, Mayapur, Vrindavan, which other place? Bhubaneswar, yeah, these were the few temples he made. Less than 10, that's all. And these are also great stories. When he used to come to make temples in India, Indians only used to cheat him and loot him. The Juhu temple, big story. Big story. How everybody was behind looting this Swamiji. Swamiji has foreign disciples. We should loot him. Most of the temples are made abroad. Farm communities, where Indians only don't want to do farming. He is making Westerners lead a life close to nature. He initiated 5,000 disciples all over the world and did everything during the age of 70 to 82. There are various organizations who have covered him. CNN, Britannica, encyclopedias, and different professors from different universities. So this is a guru. So I would like to end today's discussion here just highlighting that today we discussed what is the definition of knowledge. We discussed that no matter how much knowledge and intelligence you have, until you get guidance from the right guru, it is not possible to be happy and successful in life. Then we discussed who is the right guru, who is a bona fide guru, and who is a bogus guru. And then I just presented in a very humble way to you a glimpse of the life and teachings of a disciple who spent his life serving his own guru, that is Srila Prabhupada. So therefore I want to invite you, take up this journey, do research about Srila Prabhupada. And if you find him a bona fide guru, you should read his books, like the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam. And then you will understand what is spiritual life. Otherwise, not. So, with that, I would like to conclude today's session. Today is the day when Srila Prabhupada arrived in USA. Volunteers can start distributing the beads. Until then, I'll tell you one more story. You want to hear one more story? Yes. It is said, not it is said, it is documented that during the time when Srila Prabhupada was arriving in USA, there was a Cold War going on between Russia and America. And one of the Russian generals comments that it was 99% sure that Russia will fire a nuclear missile on America. It was 99% sure. The only thing which was left was the pressing of a button. And then this Russian general, his job was to be in the control room, war control room, and when he will get the instruction, he has to press the button. That would have started the Third World War. He said that I don't know what happened. I didn't get that order. It was 99% sure, but the order didn't come. I was waiting to press the button, but I did not press it. It was this date. And later on, he came to Krishna consciousness, that Russian general. And he was reading Prabhupada Leelamrit, the life biography of Srila Prabhupada. And then he realized that that day when he was about to press the button, that day was the day when Srila Prabhupada arrived in New York. And he didn't know whether to go left or right. So Krishna brought him to New York to spread Krishna consciousness and averted the Third World War, that my devotee has come here, something more important is going to happen. So that is the glory of Srila Prabhupada. I come in tears when I speak of all this. So I am very grateful to all of you that you are very serious, sincere, taking the message of Srila Prabhupada. And when I heard and read about Prabhupada, I thought I should dedicate my life to serve him. And then very fortunately, I have been initiated by a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who has also dedicated his life to serve Srila Prabhupada. So I come from that parampara system. And I invite all of you to join this parampara by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Krityadhyayato Vishnum Tretayam Yajato Makhaihi Dwapare Paricharyayam Kalau Tadhari Kirtanat. Whatever result was obtained in Satyuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and in Dwapar Yuga by serving the Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So on this auspicious day when Srila Prabhupada arrived in New York and the Third World War was averted, let's chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So all those who are coming for the first time, our volunteers will teach you.